Hello to my YouTube friends. How are you doing? I've been MIA, but I'm back here now and I'm ready to talk. How has everybody been? I hope you had a great week. The weekend was good and that you had a great day today. So, I'm going to remind you, some of you, about some old time things and apprise some young people of some things that used to happen back in the day. I remember when I was working at this place and a young lady was working there and she had resigned and gone and got a job someplace else. And I think maybe a year or so passed and then she came back and an older gentleman was sitting outside and saw her going by and him said, old time Sinting come back again. I thought that was hilarious. And she wasn't happy. And a number of us found it hilarious, because he just said it just so dryly. Old time Sinting come back again. Well, I'm here to remind some of you about some old time Sinting and to apprise some. So when I was a child and I was going to school, we used to write on slates. It was a piece of I'm not sure how to explain it. It's a square and it had four little pieces of frame. You could pull the frames and take your slate out of it and you could wash your slate and dry it and put it back in the frame. And you would have your slate pencil to write on it. Some children would get their slates etched with lines. Somebody would use a nail and a ruler and etch the lines in the slate, and then you'd be able to write on your slate very straight. Those persons who never had their slates etched wouldn't form their letters as well as those whose slates were etched. And they also had the cardboard slates, and those ones had lines. They're black. Well, we call it slate because it's a replica of whatever. It's just that it's not the same thing. The slate is made out of some kind of stone or something like that. But they had the paper slate, and you could use the same pencil to write on that paper slate because the surface was kind of rough, almost like sandpaper. So when you wrote on it, you'd be able to use that pencil to write on it and you get your stuff right. And so they had some slates also still in the frame, but they were taller than the regular ones in the frame, and they had a number of beads on there, much like an abacus, and you could learn to count with them. They had red and green and yellow and black, and they were shiny. And when you had a slate like that, oh my goodness, you were really into things and you could count and do your thing. And all right, now so you slate, you can run and fall and you slate, drop and break. And the children would laugh at you and say, piece of chopper slate, I don't know what that means. Well, we used to sing piece of chopper slate, whatever. And so sometimes you had to go to school with a piece of slate, depending on if your parents can't afford to buy you a new slate. So when everybody writing on a whole slate, you're writing on a piece of slate. Forgive me here. Sometimes it breaks in a triangle. Or sometimes it breaks in half, whichever way, depending on what is happening, because we always used to just run. We don't walk, we love to run. So when you run, and especially because it was like basic school, so you wouldn't even have a book bag. But if you do, you perhaps would be able to preserve your slate better than somebody else who always carries a slate in the hand, just like that. So slate drop, slate broke, piece of chopper slate. Yes. And also we had our exercise books, and on the back of the book was a national anthem. You would find the national symbols and the multiplication tables and the monetary table, the pound, shillings, and pence, and I think dollars and cents afterwards. And you also had the ounces and pounds and stuff like that. So you'd know how many ounces, and it had the mileage, everything. The back was chock full of information. So you don't remember your 12 ones or your 12 times or your 11 times. You just look at the back of your book and you're ready to roll. It had on the national pledge, the anthem, and all of these things. So much information was contained on the back of that exercise book. They don't do that anymore. And on the inside also, they had some kind of information. I think it was the national heroes that were there. And we used to learn a thing called civics. So now everybody had to do civics. So you would know who is the Minister of Education, who is the Minister of Justice and everything, and you would know all these because they never changed them as often as they do now. So you would know who they are and what their portfolio is. You would know what the Governor General does. You know all sorts of things that happen in the society. We were well informed, and especially if we liked to read, we would know exactly what was going on. We had a lot of information like that at our fingertips. We never had the internet, but we had the library, and we used to go to the library. We had encyclopedias, and we'd go in and pore over them to see what's going on, and we needed information, and we would go get it from the Gleaner or, like I said, the library, that kind of thing. Unlike Dr. Google nowadays, anything at all can be found on Google or YouTube. How to do it? YouTube. What you want to know is on Google, just at your fingertip. Yeah, the information highway is chock full. So, that is how we used to get our information in those days. The encyclopedia, the library, the Gleaner, that kind of thing. And we used to have, like, for instance, you notice that I liked to talk about the train. Well, the train had many coaches. So I noticed the other day that they're starting up at the train for the students in St. Catherine. So they will have a better idea of what I'm talking about. But there was also the diesel. And the diesel is just one coach, and it moved really quickly, much quicker than the train. I don't know if the train just bumbled along because it had so many coaches, but the diesel is one train, and it was fast. My mother always just loved to take the diesel. She going to and fro, and the diesel is what she takes. She's not taking the bus, but on the ordinary. Especially if she wants to get where she's going really quickly, she takes the diesel. So, they also had a thing, like for instance, on the train track, when the men were riding along to fix any little thing that is going on, they had a flat piece of board that they would be on, and it had the wheels like the train, but they were smaller, and like 6 of them would be on there, and they use sticks, like how you see the men rafting on the river, and they have the sticks and they push it down and going and stuff like that. That is how they pushed, and the trolley would go with them, and they would stop in areas and fix the train track, and then they would move on. Boy, life was something else in those days. And what you call soda now, we used to call it aerated water. We used to say, we're going to buy a bottle of aerated water. Nobody never really said soda. And they had one, the Canada Dry, that was almost shaped like a lady. It was very small coming up from the top, and then it like puffed out halfway down the bottle, and then the bottom of it went down again. And they had all sorts of flavors. Those were really nice drinks, I think, when we were doing the soda thing back in the day. Yeah, we had a lot of things. And I'm looking at my thingy here, and we had a pencil that we called the indelible pencil. That is the correct name, but when we were children, we used to call it indelible pencil. Indelible pencil. It was purple. And we used to like to just wet it and write on the paper, because when you wet it and write on the paper, it came out very bright. And I'm not sure what real purpose it served, but we used to have those to write with. And it used to be something else. Let me see what else I have on my paper here. Paper slate, I told you about that. I told you about the diesel and the train. Yes, those are some of the things that we had back in the day. I'm gonna see how many of my viewers remember those days. Anyways, that's all I have to say right now. I really hope that you've been enjoying the new year. We started off with a bang, and maybe not in a positive way, but we can still make our space positive and do what we can to make it a better place. So thank you for watching this episode. Have a good one. Remember, just like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave a comment if you will, and I'll see you soon. Bye.